Hello, welcome to this video. This is the first time that I've spoken today, and apparently I have much less of a voice than I thought I did, so today is going to be interesting. As you can tell from the title of this video is a daily vlog of a rat keeper because I'm planning to do some interesting stuff today. I'm planning on getting weekly weights, I'm planning on doing a bit of cleaning in the cage, I'm planning on making some more mix. So today's like a very exciting day basically. More content for a vlog. So me not having a voice puts a spanner in the work, but anyway, we'll carry on. Normally, I look like this in the morning, and normally I feed the rats really early in the morning and then go back to sleep. Today it's actually a little bit later. It's actually like 10 already. So I'm not going to go back to sleep, and they are starving because I normally feed them between like 7 and 9, depending on the day, depending when I wake up basically. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get to it now. This is actually a really funny view of me. This is something called director's view on my phone. I don't know. So anyway, every single day, my boys get about 100 grams of food. Look at them. They go mad. 100 grams of food, and they get fed to them in 2 meals of about 50 grams. So that's what we do. We measure out about 50 grams of food. This works out at about 14-ish grams each. And because they get other treats and they're in very good condition, otherwise, everyone's at a really good weight. I'm not too bothered, that's a little bit much. So yeah, that's their food. And if I just take you over here, you'll be able to see them going mad for their food. So what I normally do is I normally open the bottom. Oh, they finally started digging and tunneling again. This is Aldwin. Here we go, boys. I normally will let them pick out a good bit first. Oh my god. What is going on there? And then I will, afterwards, after everyone's gotten their fill of good bits, I'll just scatter feed the rest of it. Okay, boys. Whoever's been digging, thank you very much, because I was getting worried that you guys stopped digging. So here they are, and I just scattered fed that into the bioactive soil. But as you can see, there's actually a little tunnel there, which is good. Their bioactive soil is actually one thing that I did want to mention in general. Since going bioactive, I've been really happy with it. It's been about a month or so. I think it's next week that they do a re-layout, so it's probably about a month now. I've done one major sort of like maintenance session where I added some more cleanup crew bugs, I added some more isopods, which normally get eaten really fast. I tried to put babies in so they wouldn't be seen as much, but I do think they get eaten pretty fast. And some more springtails, watered it, turned it, because they had been digging for a couple of days. And the only time we actually noticed a smell, and it wasn't necessarily a bad smell, it was a weird, like, fruity, tangy smell, was the first day they were in the cage, because the soil had been sitting for a couple of days after being wet, and it hadn't had any bugs really added to it, and it hadn't been turned properly since being wet. And once they got in there and started digging, the smell went away. I never did ask anyone what that smell could be, but it didn't stay, so it couldn't have been a problem. So yeah, as I said today, there's some good, exciting rat things going on. I'm planning to make some mix. It's weights, so I weigh them officially twice a month, but sometimes more often. Today is the 2nd March weight, like the middle March weight, middle March. And then also making a mix, as I said, weighing. Obviously, I'll get some free run footage. And there's some really exciting things happening with Remy and Larry. I will do older books, and they're both on meds, so I'll actually show you their meds. I won't show you the morning meds because it's the same, but I'll show you their evening meds because that just makes sense. I don't want to talk to you looking like this anymore than I have to. So yeah, I'm going to go because this intro part has been very long already. And I hope you enjoy this vlog. A lot of people actually like these videos. They've asked me to do them more. And a lot of people actually watch them. Like, they get a good amount of views compared to other types of videos. So yeah, I hope you all enjoy this video. If you like it, I'll try to do more often. And see you in the next clip. So, this top is my new profile picture. As you probably saw, it was made by my friend Hannah from Hannah's Rats. It's me and baby Plum. I still miss him a lot. And I think I'm going to tell you something. I still miss him a lot, and he was really special and important to me. And I haven't really talked about this to many people, I don't think. But after my outbreak, I wasn't in a good place, as most people wouldn't be. And the day-to-day of keeping rats, like, obviously I still loved them, and they still brought me joy. But the day-to-day was just full of anxiety. There was no sort of, like, little moments of joy. It was just stress and anxiety when it came to them. I was constantly checking if I'm breathing funny and all stuff, and I was just really stressed out. And it really was the prospect of having Plum that pulled me out of it. Not necessarily pulled me out of it, that triggered me to pull myself out of it. And then those 2 weeks that we had him were just, we loved them so much. And I think probably him dying did make him even more special to me. But he really was, like, he was a catalyst for me to pull myself, I don't want to say pull myself together because I hate that sort of, like, notion, but he really was, like, a catalyst for me to, like, stop and think and go, actually, I really need to, like, consciously look after myself better and consciously battle the anxiety more. Not battle, but, like, deal with the anxiety more. And, like, that is what brought the joy of rat keeping back to me. He was a very special rat to me, and obviously he was, technically he was a Russian Wheaton, but he was a very light grey, and he had the crinkliest Dumbo ears. And I feel like after he died, I wasn't as lost. I really did miss him, and it was awful. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't, like, get into this pit like I did before. And then the opportunity to adopt the rescue boys came up, and it just felt like that's what I needed to do. And interestingly, we've had new baby rats added I think 4 times now we've added baby rats, and 3 out of them were groups of 3. All of them were just a pair. And in the first group of 3, one of them died. And in the second group of 3, one of them died. And it's a bit silly, but, like, in my head, I made this, like, weird thing that was this weird pattern that every time I got 3 baby rats, one of them was going to die. Which is, like, really, really uncommon. It just sucks that it happened to me twice. And so I think the fact that Maccabee, Osiris, and Latka all are still fine was a gift from Plum. Maybe it's a bit cringy for me to say that. But then I also think that Remy was, like, given to me by Plum. Now, I don't think, like, Remy is Plum or anything like that, because Remy is, like, 29 months old at this point, which is freaking crazy, because he doesn't look it at all. I'll show you Remy later, he's asleep. But they do look a little bit similar. But I don't know if I mentioned this in this channel, talking about Remy. I have mentioned it on my Instagram. But Remy has become really important to me. I think partially down to all of the time that I've spent with him before Larry came here, and then all of the time I've spent doing this bonding with them. He's become a really special boy to me, and it's really funny because I have a pet peeve of, like, the common pet names and the common rat names, and obviously Remy is a really common, like, name that people name their rats, and so I find it really, like, pet peevey, and it just annoys me. And so I think, like, that was just, like, a little funny thing that the universe did to me. And I don't normally, when I'm looking on, like, the rescue groups on Facebook, I don't normally look to actually take in anyone, because I like to keep my group stable, and adding in adults can cause a bit of stress. And obviously, when you add in oldies, you are then more likely having these vet bills. And something just told me that I needed to take Remy in, and I'm glad that I did, because with his issues, like if somebody else had taken him in, I don't know whether every person would have catered to his issues. I think that people might have either rehomed him again or left him on his own forever, which is just in a situation where a rat can't get along with any rat, and you've tried many different situations. But a rat isn't happy to live by itself. Like, it's fundamentally unhappy. And that's not what Remy is. He's just anxious for the rats. But anyway, my point being is, Remy became really special to me, and I feel like it was Plum that, like, made that happen, because he knew that I needed someone to be special to me. That was a roundabout way of saying that I think Remy reminds me a lot of Plum. And anyway, I don't even know if this is going to go into the vlog. I don't even know what to turn the camera on to say. Hello, so my rat rations package just came in. I'm very excited about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to unbox this for my monthly haul, and I'll put in like a time-lapse version of me taking the stuff out in this vlog. So you won't be seeing the same footage twice, but you can still see what I got. So this is my new little Zuventura cage. Couple of things that need to be done today is we need to change out hammocks, we need to change out the litter tray, and the little one down here, and also redo the water, but I'll do that right before they go in, and clean the wheel, because they like to poo on it and it's gross. So those are the cleaning jobs that are on the roster for today. And yeah, this is Osiris. Say hi. Hello, 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 boy. That's what we'll be doing today. Yay! Excuse me. Get out of the bin, sir. Why were you in the bin? I know you're a rat, but why were you in the bin? So, we've turned the soil a little bit. I'll put this piece of cork bark here. I don't know if you can see. Sort of like half buried in the soil. So it creates like a little place where they can start to tunnel. I changed this hammock, and also this hammock, and this hammock is holding my things to clean with. The wheel is mostly clean. There's just two more difficult spots that I'm just giving a bit of a soak. But yeah, that's the like weekly revamp that I do of the cage. There is chaos going on over here. So I missed it, and he's dried himself off, but he just dunked his entire half of his body 3 times into Adam's water. You're a fish. You're a fish. So, all of these boys here, and this setup is here to say, whoa, Ezio, that I'm going to be weighing all of the boys now. I've made a whole video about why I do that. See all these boys here. I made a whole video about why I weigh them and how frequently, etc. and how. So I won't include that right here, but I'm going to weigh them. Ow. Ow. So in here we have lamb's lettuce, dill, basil, coriander, parsley, courgette, parsnip, carrot, green pepper, tomato, plum, peas, a tuna dog food, a little sprinkling of cereal, some seeds, flax oil, salmon oil, omega oil, CACUD3, a probiotic, green mush, and I think that's it. That's their wet meals for their supplements, and this keeps their coats really nice. It obviously gives them a chance to eat some nice, fresh food. So here we go. So I'm in here with Larry and Remy. We are doing, you know what, my boyfriend just puts weird things on the wall. We are doing a alternative bonding method for them due to Remy's anxiety, and I'm going to be making a whole video about it in depth because it's a very complicated situation, and I don't want to sort of like promote it as the first attempt thing to try. But currently, since I'm doing my little daily vlog, currently that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that bonding session, and it's a really cute time of the day. I do it in the evening, and I get to just sit and have cuddles, and Larry is just a sweetheart. He looks he looks older than Remy, but they are probably around a similar age. His body's a little bit more fragile, and as you can see, he's got a cataract and some glaucoma. And currently he's got a respiratory infection, and he's also got a little bit of hind leg degeneration or something going on with his back legs. So we're currently treating that, but he's a happy, really patient, really sweet boy, really loving, just sits and relaxes. And yeah, so I'm enjoying spending my time with them right now, and I'll see you in a little bit. So it's time to do medicine for the oldies. That intro session went interestingly. There was a couple of behaviours that I hadn't seen before, so that was interesting. So Larry, who is a little bit underweight, gets a decent amount of weight of baby, because we're trying to keep the weight on him. He's a skinny mini. And Remy, who is a bit of a chunky monkey, he's not fat or anything, but for his age he is quite big, so he gets a lot less. Remy is on meds once a day. He's on this medication that is called Simintra, and it's for his kidneys. He tested really high for protein in his pee, which is why he's on this. He is on 0.14 millilitres a day, and both of the boys get ipecacuine, which is a renal function support, which is good for all older bucks and older rats in general, but for Remy especially, given his high protein levels in his urine. It doesn't make him feel unwell or anything. We just obviously want to support that, and we don't want his kidney function to get worse than it already is. In all the ways, he's a really, really healthy rat, given that he's 29 months old now, which is absolutely crazy to me that he's that old. Purely because he does not look it at all. But here we go. So that's what he gets. Now, Larry gets 2 antibiotics for his respiratory infection, as I mentioned before. So he's got Bactral, which is Enrocare, is I don't know which one is the brand name and which one is like the actual name of the compound, but he's on 0.25 milliliters of Bactral, that is twice a day, and then he's on 0.08 milliliters of Doxy twice a day. Now, hopefully this won't be a forever thing, just while he has respiratory symptoms. So the Doxy that I have was capsules that I've diluted one of the capsules to 1 milliliter of water. And then he's also on Metacam. So he's on Metacam as a bit of an experiment. He has some hind leg degeneration going on, dragging of his legs a little bit, but the vet feels like it's a bit more stiffness in the hips than quote unquote proper hind leg degeneration, which is a paralysis, like a built-up paralysis. So we're seeing if Metacam helps. If it does, we need to get a urine test from him because it can affect the kidneys long term. But obviously, pain is a thing. I have seen, since he's been taking these medications, I've seen that he's been having improved. He just seems brighter and more happy and more energetic than he has in the past. But I don't know if that's the Metacam or if that's the antibiotics kicking in. Because in my experience, antibiotics don't kick in that fast because he's only been on, this would be his 5th dose now. So I don't know whether that's really what's helping him or if it's the Metacam that's helping him. But something is helping him, so we're going to go forward with that. So if we decide that the Metacam is good to keep him on, that it's helpful to him, we do need to monitor his values. But it's really difficult, at least in my experience, to get a rat to pee when you need them to, and you need a proper pee, not scent mark, to do a urine test on. So that's my challenge, to get some pee from both of them, because I also want to check Remy's pee, because obviously I want to know if that medication is helping him or not. So we are going to put a bit of water into Larry's, not too much. And then I'm actually going to do this with the syringe in Remy's because he's got such a little amount that it will make the Wait Up Baby way too loose. And it'll just make it too runny, and I don't know. So, as you can see, there's a little bit of his medicines there. And then we are just going to wipe that syringe off. And then with the other syringe in the other bowl, we're just going to mix up Larry's. Now, I think that it is going to need a little bit of water, extra, but you can always add more water in. You cannot take it out. So, here we go. Yeah, so that's a good... I would describe Wait Up Baby is basically baby porridge. Rat Warehouse, where Wait Up Baby is made, they do have different flavours. So the one I'm using is called Wub to Pieces, which is like a peanut butter and chocolate flavoured one. I've tried it. It's so nice. Anyway, so I'm going to give this medication to them. So this is Larry's medication. I'm going to give that to him. He also does have his wet food from earlier, don't you, bud? As you can see, his eye is a little bit bulgy, the bad one, but he's doing good considering the problems that he's got. And I think he's the perfect he's really enjoying that wet food, so he'll get to this in a bit. He's really just the perfect temperament of a rat for Remy's situation, and I'm just happy that we have him, because he's very sweet, and aren't you, Larry? And then we have Remy's. He takes his straight away. He doesn't get quite so much though, so he does finish it quite quickly. He's also finished his wet food, almost, which is I'm so proud of him. When he first came to me, he was quite neophobic of anything other than his nuggets that he was fed on before. So the fact that now that he eats mix and the wet food that I prepare is just really great, because he didn't for a long time. And when he started eating mix, that was a really big milestone for him. And I'm just really, really happy for him. And I'm really happy that this is going to get somewhere and they're going to have friends. So yeah, that's Remy and his medicine. See, he likes to make sure he's got every single little bit, which is good, considering it's medication. But obviously these treats do make him a little bit chunky, but given his age, you know, he's getting to that point where he will start to lose weight, so it's not too bad. See you later, little guy. See you later. Guys, just look at this. Aldwin is cuddling this white boy and his tail is wrapped around. So cute. So cute. Hello, I apologise for the really weird lighting, but I am now, this is the next day from the vlog, the rest of the vlog. As you can see, my hair was washed today, and it was not washed yesterday. I am going to be making my rat mix. I follow something called the Shunammite diet. You can read about it more in a book called The Scuttling Gourmet. And anyway, I'm going to make my mix, and I'm going to answer some of your questions from Instagram, but I'm going to have my lovely, lovely, helpful assistant ask me the questions, because I sent them to him, because I can't see the questions on my phone, because I'm filming on my phone, if that makes sense. So, yes. I have not much mix left. This is my box. I don't have much left. Probably, I'd say, like, a week-ish, but I like to make my mix. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to have Adam ask me the first question on the picture that I sent him, and we're going to get going. Okay, so I didn't actually send him the photo. I sent it to him now. So what's the first question?
Why won't you buy me 64 slices of American cheese?
That's not the first question.
Do you know any good books, articles about proper rat care apart from the Scuttling Gourmet?
Okay, so I'm going to start with base mix, and we're just going to get going. So, articles, places for proper rat care, my channel. Also, Emiology, which I think a lot of people do already follow, has great videos. Then you have Asami Rats, their website, and their YouTube is also really great. Then I know Aurora Rattery has great videos as well. Let me think. Then you've got Azuline has some great articles. Lurelin has some great articles. There's a lot of places, and a lot of the places that I like are actually tagged in my link tree, which is in the description. So yeah. Next question, please, Maestro.
What do you call an assassin rat?
Ezio Auditori de Furienze.
What made you first
3.
want rats?
So actually, it wasn't a me idea at all. My boyfriend, who's asking me the questions, his name Adam, he had rats as a kid. He actually had an accidental litter as well as a kid, which, I mean, I wouldn't say it's lucky, but like that experience is something that I will eventually experience when I do start breeding. But, you know, it's exciting nonetheless. we wanted to get a pet together when we moved in. Our landlord wanted I had to put extra deposit for like cats, dogs, things, but caged animals, that was fine. So we decided on rats. I was never like against it, but it wasn't my idea. Then we got rats, and I became obsessed. Like many other things when it comes to our relationship, Adam gets me into it, and then I become obsessed. So let's figure out how many scoops I've done. 4. Okay. Next question.
Have you ever had a really bad behaving rat?
4. That is an interesting question. 5, and we'll do another one of this.
They've all been naughty in a way.
6. So, interesting question. I have had nervous rats and like bitey rats. Plum and Imperialite were nervous and bitey. Plumman were like really nervous and really bitey. Imperialite much less so. In general, I think rats are just like mischievous, hence why a group of rats is called a mischief, and like cheeky. But behaviour-wise, the thing I've struggled with the most is actually Remy's behaviour. And it's really sad because he just gets really anxious and overwhelmed with other rats. And so, as you saw in the beginning of this video, we're having to sort of like adapt the intro method for him to get him some friends. But I would say that's probably the most challenging behaviour I've had to deal with. But, like, I don't know. I've not had like a particularly badly behaved rat, but I feel like even a rat that has bad behaviour, there's a reason, as with most animals, as to why the behaviour is bad. It's not just like them being bad, you know? I don't know. Same goes for children. 7. 8. 9. 10. So I've done 10 scoops of base mix. Now we're going to go into processed grains. Next question, please.
What's your all-time favourite rat?
Now, this is a hard question. I've had probably, at this point, 3 heart rats. 2 of them are dead. And one of them is still alive. Currently, the way things are going, I feel like, right now, I feel the most strongly about Plum. But I feel like a lot of that is why and how and the situation around when he died and the situation of like him becoming ours. When it comes to rats that I think long term that I've had the most connection with, probably Remy, which is so funny because, as I mentioned, the name Remy is one of my pet peeves. But yeah, probably Remy. And I have spoken a lot about my relationship with him, so I won't blab around with that too much. We're going to do processed grains next. 1, 2, 3. Okay, next question while I break up these.
What's your favourite thing to do at rat show?
Favourite thing at a rat show? It's probably talking to people. I am quite a social person, and I find that's one of the best things about rat shows. Some people don't really like to go to shows unless they have like rats entered or they're doing a job or whatever. I'm really not one of those people. I like to go just to chat to people and see the rats. I think seeing other people's rats is great, but I also really enjoy being part of the judging process, whether that's actually being a judge, which I've pet judged once, and I'm doing it again in 2 weeks, which is really exciting. I'm going to hopefully try and vlog a bit of that experience. I just don't know how that's really going to happen, because it's just a bit challenging, because obviously I want to keep the privacy of everyone, and I don't want to sort of disrespect anybody in that way. So perhaps there'll be like a vlog about the show. Yeah, I feel like getting involved is like the best part about it, and just the community in general. And the community has supported me a lot, obviously, past, especially last year when I had my outbreak. So I don't know, I just like the community. I like talking to people. I like rats. I mean, I like it all. Like, it's one of my like absolute favorite things to do. I feel like rat shows, like keeping rats in the day-to-day and theatre, are like the top 3 things to do in my life. Like if I had to make the perfect day, it'd be a rat show with my rats and like going to the theatre and evening. I don't know. But yeah, next question.
Why are your rats so cute?
Why are my rats so cute? Well, there's a couple of people to answer for that. So, Hayley at Rainmaker, Emmy at Kinra, and Finn at Scallywag. Like, really, they need to answer for themselves, because that's not my doing. That's entirely theirs. But yes, I do agree. They are very cute. And I really do recommend all of the ratteries that I've used. Now, Finn didn't breed the rescue boys. Obviously, they're rescues. But he did such a good job at raising them that I feel like that does add to, like, personalities and their cute factor and everything. So, let me sort some of my little bits and bobs out. We just need... Okay, ask me another one.
Most common rat owner mistake on Instagram.
Oh, the most common rat owner mistake on Instagram, I think, is probably... I feel like there's a couple. One of them is these cages. And the second is asking people in the DMs to help them with a, like, health issue that they're having and not going to the vet about it. And yeah, I think that's probably the two most problematic things that people do. And I feel like that was the last question, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you don't expand. If you want to expand, you do Facebook.
There's so much. There's so much. But that is all the questions that I got. I'm going to carry on making the mix. I'll show you it when it's finished. But yeah. So the Emiology herself actually asked me a question after I finished doing the questions. She asked, like, favourite and least favourite varieties. If you'd like to own something like that. Least favourite varieties, hairless, Manx. I would love to own dwarfs in the future. I think they're really exciting, and it's really exciting that they're being worked on. And yeah, I think that's probably my answer. I just been recording. Well, I thought I was recording, but I wasn't. Anyway, here it is. My mix is done. Ignore the lighting change at sunset. I decided to make double the amount that I normally do, just to use up some of the ingredients that I had. Here she is. Just to use up some of the ingredients that I had, and so I can start fresh completely next time. So yeah, that's all from me in this vlog. I hope you liked it. If you want more videos like this from me in the future, do let me know. They are definitely on the cards. Thank you very much for watching my video. Please do subscribe so that you can stick around and see videos in the future. I'm also over on Instagram at Faithful Ratters also. And yeah, thanks you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!